This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Saturday Morning Mysteries, where we're your hosts. I'm Alexis.
I'm Grace.
And we've got a new show arc ready to go, fresh out of the oven. We've just finished our portion of the Funky Phantom. We've stored away the leftovers in the fridge for another time. For later. We're going to warm up what we've got in store today.
Oh, yes.
And I'm pretty excited. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Full disclosure, I've not watched the show yet. I've heard of it. I've read about it, but I've never seen it. Grace is doing the first episode today. So she's going to surprise me and blow my mind, I'm sure, as per usual. So I'm going to hand it right on off to her.
Yes, thank you. This show, which was my first time seeing it as well. When I watched this episode, I had never heard of it before. I had never watched it before. Alexis, you're the one who came up with it because someone commented on our YouTube recommended
it was a recommendation.
So to whomever that was,
trying to pull that up actually.
Okay,
while you're talking, I can low key kind of get to it soon while you're
okay, great.
Going.
Yeah, I historically I don't look at the YouTube comments because I do the other social media, so I don't know who it was or what video they commented on.
This was from a Halloween episode that we did. It was Imagine Competing with the Tree, the Courage episode that we did. A user SNB16 6 stars 201. Any plans to cover Moville mysteries? And we said back, you know what? We'll take that as a recommendation. And so thank you, because here we are covering it. Hope you're still here listeling and know that you are setting the trajectory of history right now. Because what we're about to do is insane.
History.
Yes.
So thank you. Yeah, for this recommendation. It hadn't even come up on our various Google searches of mystery or crime cartoons, that kind of thing. So it was truly it's a sleeper agent situation going on here. So what is this show? What was this YouTuber recommending? It is a show from 2002 to 2003, a Canadian sci-fi horror adventure animation show called Moville Mysteries. So yes, as usual, in these first episodes of our new arcs, I'll spend probably the majority of the episode giving you the vibe of the show, telling you our main characters, the general plot, especially in shows like this, which not many people seem to have known. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a huge hit in Canada and we just don't know it. It is a Canadian show.
The IMDb page only had 3 or 4 reviews on it. They were all stellar, glowing reviews, but there were so few. I was like, okay, I'm here. Like you said, sleeper hit. That's maybe the perfect word for this.
Yep,
yeah,
exactly. So yes, our new show that we'll cover for the next 8 episodes is Moville Mysteries. And this cartoon takes place in a fictional horror setting of the city Ouija Falls.
Exactly.
So from the jump, y'all have heard us here before talk about Ouija boards. We know them. We love them.
We love them.
We've played with them. We've learned the rules of them.
If any Ouija companies out there want to sponsor this podcast, honestly, we're perfect for that. Okay.
Yes.
We probably have no better brand ambassadors than us.
We've given a history of Ouija boards in our previous Halloween episodes. And now we are in a town literally called Ouija Falls. And when I read that, I said, say no more. This was my first look at the show. Say less, do less, say more spirits from the Ouija board. Let's go. So, yes, our show in Ouija Falls follows a set of high schoolers who attend Lone Pine High School. And this high school and our high schoolers mainly just surround themselves and happen to constantly fall into supernatural shenanigans is the best way I can describe this show. Kind of the setup of the show. Yeah, again, it's follows some high school characters who we'll talk about in a second. They wind up in supernatural situations. And the way the show's kind of laid out is that there's kind of like a narrator throughout it, like that will kick off the show and end the show. And I've only watched the first episode thus far that I'll be covering today. But the Wikipedia actually said that sometimes the plot of the episode will just be narrated by one of these high schoolers, but none of our main characters will actually be in the episode. They'll just be narrating cool. like a set of events.
It's like a campfire story or something.
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
So I'm hoping, that some of our episodes end up being like that. I think you don't know until you start watching it. So that's kind of a cool concept. There's a lot of breaking of the fourth wall, speaking direct to camera, which is also cool. I enjoy that.
Nice.
So let me first tell you before I talk about the characters, like the vibe of the show, because I think that's what that is what makes this show. So I'm going to start with a quote that I got from Reddit that says, "This is basically an animated X-Files with the occasional Twilight Zone."
Oh, such a good, literally 3 home runs right there. Twilight Zone, animation, and freaking the X-Files. Love it already.
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, that is the perfect description of this.
Yeah. Awesome.
The animation of it wasn't by the same studios as these two shows, but like clearly the animators, were fans of these two shows. It's giving real monsters and gritty rocket power.
I see both of that yes. Okay.
Yep.
Well, I've not seen the episode. Grace did share with me like the opening credits. And so they obviously show the animation there and you see the main characters. Both of those vibes check 100%.
Yep. Yeah. They're like, I actually thought that they were the same animation.
Real monsters.
Yeah, I thought they were the same animation.
They have like abnormal colored skin. Yeah.
Yeah, looked into it, was not. But again, as inspired by perhaps
pointing that out. Yeah, for both of those. Yeah.
So then also an important vibe setting, is the theme song. We always have to talk about theme songs and opening credits here. This one, like all of the other ones, incredible. I would say has 4 main aspects in the theme song music that really set the tone for everything else, which is very heavy early 2000s guitar, riffs, discordant notes, creepy children's choir, screams.
Screams.
That is, not screamo, screams.
Screaming.
Of pain and horror.
Yeah.
So, so that's kind of the setup of it. The whole show itself, everyone, all the characters are human, but they're all animated as if you could possibly think are these zombies? They all have different colored, really pale, green or purple or yellow skin that looks a little sickly. All of the proportions are everyone is very disproportionate. Some of them are super skinny and lanky, but then huge heads. Everything is just not even slightly, everything is off and everyone looks different that you're kind of unsettled the entire time.
Maybe a little Nightmare Before Christmas-y sort of we
put a pin in that because I make a direct reference to a character who reminds me of that later in the episode. So
got you. Cool.
Yes, that is the exact proportions we're talking about here.
Okay.
And the settings are all, again, very sickly feeling. It's a lot of paleness, a lot of really dark colors at the same time, which kind of seem, juxtaposed to each other. The sky itself is always green, giving it a radiation vibe. So yes.
Super fun site.
I will flat out say right now, Ouija Falls is on a super fun site. I have zero doubt after one episode. Correct.
That also was an old cemetery or burial ground or something. So it's radioactive and it's haunted. Okay, cool. Oh,
don't you know it is? Yes.
I'll stop right there.
So, and again, all of the plot lines are fully supernatural. It's not in the sense of being yes, we're so surprised about this supernatural thing. No, these characters live and breathe among supernatural elements in their, it's their normal day in day out situation. Yes, like they know that
the
this
mailman's hand falls off when he hands you a letter. Oh,
exactly.
Here, let me get that for you. Normal shit.
They know it's a Superfund site. They are aware of this, et cetera, et cetera. The mayor is Mayor Superfund, probably.
The most mutated of them all.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's how he got mayor. That's how he won the election.
Mutation Station, if you will, is the show.
Nation.
Yes, and it is meant to be very creepy and spooky and gross and nasty. It's great. I was like, how did this only get 2 seasons? And then I said, oh, because it's creepy, spooky, and nasty for children.
Remember the screams you were talking about?
Exactly, that start the show. And even like in, the theme song, there's like a spinning, ticking clock, just like in the Twilight Zone. Yeah. So they really leaned in, but again.
You went from saying, how did this only get 2 seasons to saying, how did this get 2 seasons?
Yeah, they were like, hey, 7-year-olds, want to get traumatized? And
say less.
I said, yes, I do.
As a 31-year-old, here we are.
But the producers of this short-lived show said, shut it down.
We're getting calls from parents' agencies.
Exactly. There's a lot of Christian-funded groups, parent groups, giving us a lot of angry calls.
Yeah, kind of getting annoyed.
So as usual, I'll go through our main characters now, so describe them a little bit. So we have our main character, our titular character, Moville. Again, Little Mysteries. He is our main character. He goes by Mo. He is voiced by the one, the only superstar of the early 2000s, Frankie Muniz. Yes, you know him from the Middle, Big Fat Liar, et cetera, et cetera. NASCAR now, apparently.
Yeah, right.
That's, I did go on a deep dive on him because I saw that he was doing NASCAR things now. And I was like, what? He's been interested in like the racing industry for like since the early 2000s, basically.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. So he's like kind of been in and out of it for a long time. And then like in the 2010s really dove in and then backed out. And now he's back in it. I don't know how he's doing in it. I didn't care that much, but
he's in it. Yeah.
It's his thing now. So
I love having fun.
Yes. I love that journey for him instead of being like, I'm going to do a revamp of Malcolm in the Middle that no one asked for. Instead, he's like,
which
try and catch
I heard a rumor about recently, but I drive away.
You can't.
But I don't know if you. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go for it.
Oh, well, I was going to say another fun fact about him, but you may have uncovered it on your deep dive. So.
I don't.
Oh, you're like, no, that's all I know about him. Well, apparently at some point when he was like a young adult, I guess after Malcolm in the Middle, maybe he got a head injury of some sort. And so he said that he like doesn't remember filming or like doing most of Malcolm in the Middle now, like as a full adult, which is so sad and crazy. One, because that must have been a horrible head injury, but two, it's such a good show. I
did jump to the health section on the Wikipedia page because I live for that tea and like, oh my God, what happened?
What's the goss? Yeah.
So apparently in a recent interview in the last like couple years, he like explains all that and is like, yeah, no, I made like one like he did have like a head injury that like did give him like some health problems, but he was like, all the tabloids thought I had amnesia. I made one comment once that said, I don't even remember 2001. And everyone thought that I meant I didn't remember all of Malcolm in the Middle because I had amnesia. He's like, I made one comment once and like People magazine or like whoever, ran fucking crazy with it. Like, I had a head injury and had some health problems, but like I don't have amnesia. So he debunked it in a recent interview or just lied to the press for a while to get, some more headlines. And
attention.
Now it's like, sorry.
It worked. Yeah. I remember seeing a shit ton of articles about it. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Yep. No, on the Wikipedia page in a recent interview. Yeah. He was like, I had one comment once and everyone was like, he doesn't remember anything. He was like, no, they just really, that was a good headline, y'all. But I had a moment of being like, because I always wonder this with like, when like big stars are in like random one-off things, like, is this something they try and like erase from their past? Like, is this something that they're just like, yeah, whatever? What's the deal?
Yeah.
So I looked up Frankie Muniz plus Moville Mysteries comments. And in 2020, he tweeted out, anybody remember the cartoon Moville Mysteries? My wife watches it every single night.
Oh.
So like a weird comment, but like,
yeah,
he wasn't, he's clearly, I think he's fine with it. I think he was like, this was a fun time.
Yeah, he's like, I liked it.
It was in the middle of my Malcolm in the Middle career. Like, I was having a good time. Did anyone watch it? And like, there's a couple comments on it. Nothing crazy.
Interesting.
So
like the few comments and like reviews that I saw about it on like IMDb and throughout the internet were like, oh my God, this show was amazing. I hate that it only had 2 seasons. Like, Frankie Muniz was amazing in this. Yeah.
There were some comments being like, I've been trying to petition to get this show back on the air and that kind of stuff. So
well, if anyone's listening who's been petitioning, at least know that you can watch it on Tubi for now.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, so go back to it.
That brought me joy to know that he wasn't like, I've never even heard of that. He was just like, did anyone watch this? Like, we love it in this household was the vibe I got. So I love that for him.
Awesome.
So yes, Frankie, aka Mo, aka mostly Moville, our main character. So yes, he's kind of our main character. He's our main narrator a lot of the times as well, it seems like, at least again in my first episode. He of course drives the plot a lot of the time. He is a very short teenager, again, high school student. I would describe him as boxy. Like his head is just a square with like little cheeks and little ears sticking out. His body is just like a box, basically. That's the best way I can describe him. He is blue. Entirely, like a light blue. He's got darker blue hair. His like in the box of his head, the last like third are where his like really big like eyes that always have bags under them are, and small mouth, and then the other 2/3 is just forehead and eyebrow.
5 head.
He's definitely got 5 head going on, and like the thickest caterpillar eyebrows going on in the world that are very expressive. He loves a single eyebrow raise when he knows he's up to no good. He loves the quick eyebrow double raise situation when he's instigating things. I also simply have to say his outfit is just like a 48-year-old man's bowling shirt vibe, which is very funny on like a high school student. But yes, he out of
probably belonged to some guy who died down the street or something a long time ago, and that's how they get clothes in Ouija Falls.
You know what?
Estate sales.
Keep that in mind. Everything you say that you think is spooky and creepy is correct.
It's worse.
In this show. And we will talk about it in our first episode alone. I'm losing track of all the pins we've put in things.
Me too, yeah.
All the pins we've put in our voodoo dolls here in Ouija Falls. So, yes, Mo, out of all of our characters, especially loves the spooky shit. He lives for the supernatural. If he sees a chance to dive further into it, he says, hold my beer. I am there. And kind of, is a little bit of the instigator of the shenanigans they get into, because he just can't resist a good supernatural experience, or even like debunking supernatural things that are happening. So then we have Mo's best friend, Tommy Hitchcock, aka Hitch. Tommy is Hitchcock.
Nice.
Genius, cool. Right?
Yeah.
We love. So Hitch, as he is known instead, is our total
also skater. A great movie.
Exactly.
Which is
also probably from the same time frame.
Will Smith, Hitch.
Yep, it's in the same years, probably, give or take. Yeah. So Hitch is our totally stereotyped skater boy. He wears of the early 2000s. He wears cargo shorts. He wears baggy t-shirts. He is often skateboarding and like parkouring off of shit. He's got a floppy beanie on. He inexplicably, but it makes sense for being a skater boy, is always almost wearing 3D glasses. Just day to day. He is not very smart. He accidentally gets them into more trouble because he's kind of dumb, is the vibe. He's, again, just this teenage skater boy. He's like
just a skater boy. He said, see you later, boy.
See you later, boy, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
He has like this like pale, like green yellow skin and like bright orange. It sticks out of his beanie, like kind of curly hair, but it's in like the shape of a Dorito.
And now I'm hungry.
He has like Dorito hair, let's say. Okay, how
I don't know.
him.
Imagine telling someone that. Is that a compliment or not? I don't know. You have Dorito hair. It's like, damn.
When you see it,
insulting you and your barber.
Exactly.
Okay.
Sponsor us, Doritos.
You'll agree with me when you see this.
Yeah, I have no doubt. This I can guarantee. So then we have our girl of the gang. You always got to have at least one in all these kid shows. Her name is Mimi Valentine. I'm sure that's referencing something in the horror genre. I just don't know what it is. She, much like our last show,
I don't know.
is, who knows, is the only level-headed one of the group. Classic female character in a boy gang. Yep. She keeps everyone safe for the most part. She can kind of be a skeptic about all of these great supernatural things. She's usually like, and we can kind of explain away, or like we should exactly like we can explain away, or we should be a little cautious. But she does like the supernatural stuff too. She goes along with it. She's always interested in the spooky shit, but does approach it with some caution, unlike Mo, who's just no questions asked, all in. She is kind of tall and skinny. She's got pale purple skin and purple hair that she wears in pigtails. She, again, with her like kind of interest in supernatural, but also kind of like eye roll vibe around it, is giving April Ludgate before April Ludgate was around. Yes.
I love it.
Yeah. So we love Mimi. It's great. She wears just like a striped sweater and an orange skirt. But yeah, is always there to like keep the boys safe and also be like, let me watch how this plays out.
Exactly. I'm going to stand back, arm's length.
Yeah,
I like how
exactly.
we make an April Ludgate tie-in now when we just finished a show that actually had a character named April in it. She was nothing like April Ludgate.
Like April Ludgate, but Mimi is
awesome.
And then we have another character. Yes. Oh, indeed. So we have another character who he wasn't in my first episode, so I'll just briefly mention him. I don't know too much about him yet. But the Wikipedia mentions him as a regularly occurring character named Billy Boone, aka BB, who is described by the Wikipedia page as a conspiracy theorist, mainly about aliens, who is sometimes proven correct in unexpected ways. So we'll leave that mystery.
That for now. Future episodes.
Again, yes, I haven't met him yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully we will in the near future.
Also, we'll see.
It was unclear whether BB was another high school student or just like a dude in town who was wearing tinfoil
hats. Like a hermit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Has like a basement full of computers and again, a red yarn board.
Yes. Yeah. So
can't relate.
TBD. We'll find out, I guess, soon enough.
Yeah.
So let's dive into our first episode of the first season.
Okay.
We start off at Lone Pine High School. As we're approaching, again, we are seeing the vibe of this school. Literally, this school is oozing slime underneath.
Super fun sight.
Exactly. That's why as soon as you said that, I was like, they don't even try to speculate. Yeah. They're just like, yes,
they're like, we're telling you without literally saying it out loud.
Radiation slime out of this school. We see a raven or a crow flying onto the school sign that has bright red glowing eyes.
Horror movie.
Yep. They are letting you know. They are saying, hey, kids, you ready?
Trauma coming in 3, 2.
Wait, it's already here.
You've already been traumatized. So is this like a normal thing? Like kids are walking into school like, oh, that darn slime, here it goes again. Yes. Or are people like, okay, so this isn't part of the mystery.
This is all truly
normal Tuesday.
Like, okay. Yeah, normal Tuesday. Cool. Super Tuesday on the super fun site, you know?
Awesome.
So it's very, like apocalypse vibes, zombie apocalypse vibes, radiation vibes. And yes, it is just a normal Friday morning at Lone Pine High School with this. And we go to, there's actually an assembly going on today. And we start out underneath the bleachers of the school gym where there's Mo breaking the fourth wall with, I gotta say, one of the most incredible opening lines to a show ever. That again, the writers, I think they're like pre-defending themselves from parents being like, we had no idea this was going to be so scary. Like the writers are like, no, we let you know.
Yeah, if you let your kids keep watching, that's on you.
Yeah, because basically Mo looks straight at camera with a little eyebrow raise saying, we are about to witness one of Lone Pine High's most ancient rituals, a cruel and grisly tradition that's not for the faint of heart or weak of bow. Just remember, never let them smell your fear. That's how the show fucking opens for children.
Amazing. Yes. Amazing.
And then he does a lot of finger tent tapping, if you will.
Yeah.
Yes.
Basically,
smile.
The way I interpret the first line of this show is, kids, hold your butts.
Hold on to your butt skins.
Or make sure a bathroom is nearby. Awesome.
Exactly.
Cool. Great.
Yep.
Great start. Off to a great start.
Again, the writers say, we told you.
We warned you.
We fucking told you. So we zoom out from underneath the bleachers, leaving Mo behind, and we see the principal of this school, Principal Pickles, who sounds literally just like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons.
Oh.
I don't think it's the same. I didn't look into it, but yeah, it sounds just like him. They are having their pep rally to kick off the football season.
Okay.
And it turns out the pep rally is this tradition at the school, but it's actually a very sad tradition because this school has not won a game of any sport as far back as anybody can remember. So this pep rally is pretty fucking sad, I gotta say. Mr. Pickles is up there. Yeah, there's no pep. There's like one cheerleader being like, "Give me a V," and the school is like, "V." Like none of the students are into it. They all straight up look like zombies, but it's not because they are zombies.
Have souls. Yeah, I mean, aren't they like dead? So
yeah, it could be because they are zombies, or it could be because they're like, why are we even here? Like,
or they're all sick from the radiation and stuff. And
again, those pale ass.
I need a hospital.
Like they just give me more radiation at the hospital. What's the point?
Right. Give me a V for vaccine, please.
For IV, I need one.
Yeah, IV, help.
Like literally the football team and the coach is crying during this pep rally.
So there is some pep, just not the right kind.
Yeah, there's energy, but not in the happy direction,
sad
not in the
energy,
victorious
very depressed,
direction. I do have to point out that the mascot of this school are the slugs, which I love slugs. So I loved this, but the mascot is in this like giant brown, like gooey slug costume who's just like inching across the gym floor. So yeah.
What's the high school name again? Lone Pine. Lone Pine. Okay, so the Lone Pine Slugs.
Yep, exactly.
All right. Cool. Let's win it.
We're here.
Let's win it. Let's go to the playoffs this year, boys. Yeah.
So yes. So we learn quickly that yes, basically this tradition of the school is a tradition of fucking losing. So we go to the upper bleachers where we see our gang, Mo, Hitch, and Mimi. Inexplicably, Hitch is currently dressed as a sassy old lady, which we'll get to in a second.
Okay, good.
We'll get to why.
Okay.
There is a reason for it.
Okay.
But Mo and Mimi are like unbothered by this. They're like, yeah, Hitch.
Normal Friday.
Yeah, he's got like his cargo shorts on and a floral dress and a grandma wig, like in curlers. So that's happening.
Okay. Good for him.
Mo and Mitch. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's not
I'm not
ashamed.
judging. I'm wondering why, but no, good for
Yeah,
him.
exactly.
I'm not wondering why anymore.
Yeah,
Good for him.
we're just letting it happen. We love this
Yeah.
for you, Hitch. Mimi watching this pep rally below is just eye rolling, and she's like, God, we need a new mascot. Like, we're the slugs. What happens to slugs? Slugs get stepped on. That's why we're always losing.
Hmm.
And Mo is like, no, we don't need a new mascot. Like, slugs are so cool. And he literally says, slugs convert rotting vegetable matter into rich, loamy soil. We don't need to get rid of them. We need to keep them. So
You
again,
know,
Mo
yeah, like the
loves the
icky and
gritty. Yeah, the
yeah.
icky.
On the one hand, I'm like, ugh, no. But on the other hand, like mad respect. Like
Yeah,
would be
exactly.
friends with him. I love that kind of
Exactly.
like knowledge and passion for like the unorthodox thing. So that's cool. All
Yes.
right, Mo.
That's Mo in a nutshell.
Yeah.
And Mimi is like, whatever, Mo. Like she's used to his like ooky spooky stuff because again, they live in it.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, Mimi does turn her attention to Hitch and she's like, by the way, what's up with this outfit? What is this? What are you doing?
She's like, what am I in between here? You're talking about slugs. You're wearing a dress. Dress sounds more interesting. Hitch, what's going on?
Yeah, this is at least new and exciting. Tell me more. And yeah, Hitch is up there like posing for the camera. He's loving it. And he explains, it's my disguise. I'm hiding from the school bully, a kid named Gizzard, which is a great bully name. Like, yes,
yeah,
the turkey.
Good.
Yep.
Turkey gizzards, yeah.
And they're like, Hitch, no one's that stupid. Like, they're gonna know it's you. Cut to, we see Gizzard prowling the bleachers to find Hitch. And Gizzard is like, it's got like a really small body and then a huge fucking head. And it's giving a mixture of everything's like a mashup in this show. It's giving a mixture of the professor slash scientist from Nightmare Before Christmas and Sid from Toy Story.
Oh my goodness. Two of the worst villains in animation ever
are this child. Goodness. Like this child literally has like the buzz cut of Sid and like the outfit of Sid, but like the head size of the professor.
The proportions of,
yes. This kid fucking has a buzz cut and has like a tattoo of a bat on the side of his head. This kid has a bad home life, just like Sid.
Doesn't everybody in Ouija Falls?
Yes. I mean, his is worse than
but
just
his slightly worse than others.
Exactly.
Radiation and chemicals.
Yep. Mm-hmm. But Gizzard makes his way up to the upper bleachers and sees Hitch and does give him like a glance of recognition. But like most school bullies, they're fucking dumb. And so he thinks that this is like Hitch's mom or something like that. Like or like
hanging
Hitch's
out with
sister.
Mo and Mimi.
Yeah, like somehow it's related to Hitch. And so he grabs them by the collar of the dress and basically says, like, if you see Hitch, you tell him he's roadkill next time I see him. And Hitch is like, oh, don't worry, I sure will. Because he's like a little sassy Southern grandma. And Gizzard's like, good.
Oh, of course.
And then leaves. And so, yes, Gizzard is that dumb.
So okay. Yeah. So someone is dumber than Hitch, apparently.
Yes. And at this point, Mimi's like, all right, I'm bored of this now. Back to Mo. What's he up to over here? Doing creepy shit? That's her energy constantly. It's just like, all right, what are you doing over here? What weird shit are you up to?
Yeah. Now, what are you doing? And you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Turns her attention a little bit back to the pep rally where again the cheerleader, now the school band is out trying their darndest. It's a bad school band, it's discordant notes, no one's playing together in tune. It's a mess. And Mimi is just like, this place is so embarrassing. Like this losing streak is almost like we're cursed. And at that note, Mo's eyes light up and he says, hopefully. And they decide to go find out. Yeah, no, Mo's fine with it. Everyone's fucking cursed in this town.
Yeah, I know. It's just not not what you want to hear a friend say. Like, hopefully, like, okay, Mo, let's calm down a little bit, man.
Mo,
let's calm down.
we talked about this. Mo,
Yeah,
curses are bad.
Curses aren't always good.
Why do you always want to give us some? We're your
good.
friends. You don't curse friends. Mo.
Right.
You say it back.
We don't get excited about curses. Yeah.
We only curse our enemies, not our friends. We go to the school together. That means your friends are then cursed. Mo. Why are you walking away? So we cut to a nice research montage where we start off in the school library. Hitch, by the way, is back to his normal outfit. They're like, Gizzard's not going to come to a library. We're fine here.
We're safe here.
Idiot. Yeah. So they're looking through like the history books. They do have like a very, early 2000s desktop computer in there. They find basically Mimi is doing some calculations saying that this school has lost 6,520 games, including practice scrimmages.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And Hitch is like, how do you lose a practice? Oh my God.
Like, damn.
Jesus.
Yeah, that is a curse, probably.
This is proving their point a little more.
Yeah.
But at this, Mo started looking also through a bunch of old yearbooks that are kept in the library. And he notices that there's a couple years, many moons ago, where the photos are back in black and white and grainy at this point, that for 3 years running, Lone Pine High were division champs in every single sport.
Wow.
So, yes, they check out.
What a fall from grace.
I mean, truly.
Yeah.
From, I don't
know. From
you. From me. What a fall from a nuclear power plant.
It's a long drop.
Long fall. So they check out these yearbooks, presumably, and they go back to one of their houses. I think it's Mo's house, to continue the research on his computer, which like Mo straight up lives in a house that looks like a haunted mansion, like
great.
The haunted mansion, but like they're in the basement. Again, like the coloring of it is all like dark purple and then just like the glowing computer light blue type of thing when like all the other lights are out. Yeah. So like very spooky about, and like kind of flashing, like a little discordant vibe. So they're on the computer and they're looking up old newspaper articles covering these 3 years in a row that the Slugs indeed were the division champions. And they keep noticing over and over again in like the team photos for every single sport that there's consistently one player, one athlete who's on all of these teams all 3 years and seems to be getting a lot of MVP awards, et cetera, et cetera.
The team of every sport?
Yes.
Wow. Good for him or her. That's busy.
Yes.
I'm assuming him, unfortunately.
Yes. Okay. Yes. This is olden times. They didn't want to play sports back then. Women didn't even go
to school.
Yeah, exactly. So they look a little closer at this, and they realize it was a kid named Jimbo Walker, also known as Jimbo Crazy Legs Walker.
Right.
And so they're like, this fucking kid was the star athlete? Because Jimbo Crazy Legs looks like he weighs 92 pounds soaking wet.
Oh my God.
This kid is not even skin and bones. He is like just bones, essentially. Like there's no meat on him. All of the uniforms are super baggy on him. They're like, this man's has no muscle in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
They're able to find super grainy old footage of him at like a track meet or something like that. And, they hear like the gun go off and like literally like they don't even see him essentially. He runs so fast ahead of everybody else. Like it is just a blur. And Mimi comments like, that was unexpected, obviously. Like, look at this kid. It almost seemed supernatural, which, pretty realistic for everything they live in. Yes.
Right.
Finger tent of doom. And Mo continues to look into it and is able to find some articles, I assume from like, the school newspaper at the time, interviewing Jimbo. And Mo says, I think you're right, Mimi. I think he was. He had something else going on that the other students didn't. Hitch is also all in on this. He's like, ooh, okay, let me guess. Was it steroids?
Yeah, right. I was gonna say. Does he actually say that?
Yes.
Oh my God. Nice.
He says, okay, was it steroids? No. Okay, was it black magic? No. Okay, was it a radiation leak? No. Okay, was it aliens?
All
right.
Good suggestions, quite
Accurate.
frankly.
Honestly, the latter three just as realistic as steroids.
Yeah, right.
Like in this world. But Mo says no. There was an object that Jimbo had that had supernatural powers. He talks about it in some of these articles. There are photos of it. And we see the photo of a supernaturally empowered jock strap.
Oh, man. I was waiting for you to say some like amulet or something like that. No,
nope.
Okay.
This episode is called Raiders of the Lost Jockstrap.
Oh my God.
To get a feeling of the direction we will be heading here shortly.
Things just took a turn.
Yes.
Yeah. For a split second, I forgot this is a children's cartoon and not actually a horror sci-fi adult animation.
Yes.
So, shame on me for not expecting that.
Yep, exactly. But yes, a turn it does immediately take because they say, okay, great. We have a cursed object. How do we find it? Let's like get in contact with his family. This is probably like a family heirloom. Then they learned through future digging. He died alone. No family, no friends to speak of. So what's the next logical way to find this cursed object?
No.
You mentioned it before already. You're right. Grave robbing.
Good. Okay. Oh no. My mind first went to grave robbing, and then I was like, oh no, maybe an estate sale. Never mind. And then okay, that's right. I did mention grave robbing.
Yeah, you mentioned a mausoleum or like a graveyard before, and I was like, well, we've already mentioned a radiation lake. We're going to a graveyard. It's got it all. So yeah, literally immediately, no one is like, I don't know. They're all just like, okie dokie,
shovels,
rob some graves. Literally, they show up like outside of the fence, and like Mo is already like climbing over the fence to the graveyard. No flashlight, no hesitation, et cetera, et cetera.
This is clearly not his first time.
No, he knows the exact best spot to climb into this graveyard, which of course is like overgrown with like but there's like cobwebs everywhere. It's a full moon out, et cetera, et cetera. These are like old giant headstones. I think we see this is a great example of like the character vibes of, again, especially for a first episode to establish them. Again, Mo, no hesitation, like head first right into those graves, just like digging by hand. He didn't even bring a fucking shovel. He is going for it. Mimi, the always prepared one, has a big ass flashlight with them, being like, it's dark. I know there's full moon. We still need a fucking flashlight, y'all. Hitch is like, I can help out. I brought a lightsaber.
May the fourth be with you.
Exactly. Yep. We ironically are
as we're
recording this on May 4th. And when I realized that, I was like, yes, fucking nailed it.
Nice. But also, what the fuck, Hitch?
Yeah, Hitch is just mainly there for vibes. He's just like jumping off the headstones, like, like any good, useless teenage boy.
Skater bro would do. Yeah.
Exactly. So, he's just fucking around there. But after some searching, Hitch is helping a little bit with the searching. Mimi and Hitch are like, we are not finding, like, we searched like the section that this would have been like date range wise, and like we cannot find this dude's headstone. Like, what is going on? At which point they hear Mo call them from like kind of further deeper into the graveyard, and they follow him up a very overgrown set of stairs that lead up a hill. And the top of the hill, it looks honestly just like a deep, dark forest. But as soon as you enter the forest and kind of get through some of the brush, they find a huge marble, our favorite, mausoleum.
Ah, nice.
And Hitch lightsabers
right
away. Yep, some cobwebs. And we see, yeah, he's like, pew, 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 pew. And we see a plaque. No. Too simple. We see a plaque that says, "Here lies Jimbo Crazy Legs Walker. I'm number 1," in all caps.
Like Schmitty Werben Jaeger, man.
That's all I could think of. I'm number 1.
He was number one.
For those
also
watching,
had
this
a
was
very
my
impressive
foam hand.
grave.
This is what I was doing. For those watching on YouTube.
Wow. What a memory just unlocked from my brain. My God.
He was number 1. So, of course.
Don't you get it, Mr. Krabs?
So, of course, these children have no respect for the dead. They just kick down the door to this mausoleum, which very easily opens right up for them. And this mausoleum is fucking massive inside. They're shining the one flashlight and again lightsaber around, and we see that it is filled like floor to ceiling with tables and corners piled up with trophies. So indeed, he was number 1.
He was number 1. I was thinking when you said they had trouble finding his headstone or whatever, in my mind was like, well, I mean, if he was like a huge athlete and brought all this fame to the town, he probably has a pretty nice set apart from everyone else sort of situation, burial situation. So nice,
exactly.
Nice.
Although a very not well taken care of. Again, it seems like no one's been there a very long time. Exactly. No family, no friends left behind. So they are obviously stoked on this. Mo is like, well, it's obviously fucking gonna be here somewhere. And Mimi is like, all right, you need to like simmer your hopes. Like, don't get too hopeful. And I don't want to see you.
We're committing a lot of crimes right now. Yeah. Also that.
Yeah. Like we're really in it right now. So let's not get too invested if we need to make a quick break.
You're a little too excited about these crimes that we are committing, Mo.
Yeah.
But
let's
get this jock strap and get the fuck out.
Yes. No less. But Mo does not heed her warnings of caution, and they go deeper into the mausoleum until up on kind of like a parapet or whatever, they indeed find a coffin. A coffin with a basketball hoop over it. A coffin in the shape of a locker.
Oh my gosh.
He was number 1.
This is a whole identity. That's it. Like, this dude was an athlete. That's all you need to know about him.
All he was. True. I mean, through and through. He was literally like, no, this was actually
was not a brother, locker. Not a friend. Yeah.
Nope. This was my football locker from the locker room because I loved it so much that I was buried in. So, of course, as we said, Mo doesn't give a fuck about, sanctity for the dead, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. And he just grabs right onto that locker handle and starts to pull it.
Wow.
Which makes the entire mausoleum start to shake and quake.
Oh no. Indiana Jones style.
Raiders of the Lost Jockstrap, baby.
Yeah.
From the walls.
Damn it. I forgot that was the name of the episode.
That's why you were saying it. Yeah, is that genius?
Yeah. Oh man, good job on the writers. Give it okay.
Oh yes. Because from the walls surrounding them, yes, it immediately is a booby trap. And yes, from all of the walls and ceilings start flying out and attacking them various sports equipment. There's a volleyball getting lobbed at them. There's a basketball getting shot at them. Like baseball, football is like Hitch is there, like fending them all off with his lightsaber while Mo and Mimi
I'm
are
glad
like,
he brought it.
I know. I was like, hell yeah, Hitch. All right. Yeah. Defend everyone. You got it, bro. But eventually they're able to, yes, with Hitch's help, stay safe. And eventually the booby trap runs out of sports balls, I guess. And they're able to decide their next plan of action, which of course Mo has learned no lessons. and goes right back up to the locker and just swings that shit open, and just literally dives headfirst in to start rustling around these fucking remains, and finds. I know. I was like, this is you. I guess you live around
Messed
radiation.
Up.
You're already very sick, but like you are touching with no protective equipment dead remains. This is you're
like
gonna get a
bones
disease.
and yeah.
So
from this guy who was so old too.
Yes, from like hundreds of years. This is a rotted, just skeleton probably at this point. But he finds in this locker, literally, Jimbo was buried with his old gym duffel bag. And Mo just rips it right on out of the locker. Yep.
It like disintegrates.
Well, you were correct about like, this is fucking gross, because as soon as he opens it, we see green gas just like come up from the duffel bag. We also see a little bit of glowing happening from it that Mo is trying to get to, that glowing source, but the green gas is just too much. He and Mimi, who are near the duffel bag, obviously have to like run away and start coughing, yes, so they don't get poisoned to death.
Right.
And when they look back at the duffel bag and look in, the glowing object is gone.
Oh.
So, yes, they're like, we're pretty sure that was the jock strap. We like saw kind of glimpse of it before the green smoke, and like what else would be glowing.
Right.
Where did it go? And in that moment, we hear a nice little guitar riff. And we turn around to see, holding a lacrosse stick as if it's a guitar, Hitch, wearing the jock strap.
What? Okay.
This, again, lack of respect for the dead. Hitch was like, y'all, isn't this funny? Let me put it on, and like, with his guitar and be like, ha, 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 ha.
I'm so
funny. I'm so quirky.
Yeah, look at me.
I'm such a bad boy. And like Mo and Mimi are like, oh my God, a Hitch, classic Hitch. All right, you should take that off though. And Hitch was like, yeah, I know, I just wanted to fuck with you guys. But before anything can happen, before he can take it off, he's wearing it like over his cargo shorts, by the way.
Oh, thank God, too. I was gonna okay.
I should have mentioned that beforehand.
I figured, but
yes,
part of me did wonder.
Yes.
Good.
But before, yes, he can take it off, the jock strap starts glowing yet again. And Hitch gets yanked into the air, like basically up by his hips. And it starts controlling his movements entirely. And we see him basically doing like a bunch of like athletic feats. And we see like giant spirits behind him of like various athletes. So we see like this huge spirit of a basketball player like go for and like dunk on the basketball hoop that was behind the coffin. And then in real life, Hitch is mimicking those movements and is also dunking with one of the basketballs from the booby trap.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yes, like over and over again. And Mo and Mimi are like telling him to stop, like screaming for him. Hitch at first is yelling like, I can't, like, I'm not in control of this. Like, oh my God, like you guys need to help me. He's starting to panic, but he gets more and more spirits of athletes kind of like, again, going through the motions and kind of like entering him a little bit. And in a moment of pause, it stops glowing for a second. And Mo and Mimi run up to him. They're like, are you okay? Like, holy shit, take it off. And Hitch is like, that was actually great. I actually feel great. Actually, I am great.
I'm number one.
I'm number one. And then he sprints out of the mausoleum.
Take the jock strap off. Hitch, take the jock strap off.
They can't fucking catch him, baby.
Yeah. Oh,
He's
man.
gone.
Wow.
So they cut to school the next day. Mo and Mimi were like,
leave the mausoleum door wide open. Everything's torn up in there. They're like, all right, well, let's get out of here.
Desecrated. They're like, no one's gonna no one's going to come check on this anyways. Yeah. Like, no one cares about this dude anymore, whatever. Cool. But on that actual exact note, at school the next day, one, they have not heard from Hitch, which is causing them concern this morning. Yeah. They were like, we thought he'd go home and like sort that out, but we haven't heard anything. But also, isn't it strange that like, this raiding of a mausoleum wasn't in the news? Also, that the like mausoleum and shit was like so overgrown. And then we also see in the school, like in one of the school halls, like a trophy cabinet or whatever. It's completely empty. And they're like, it is kind of strange, right? That like no one honors Jimbo, Crazy Legs Walker. Like he was the champion of this school, like undeniably. Like, why isn't there like a fucking statue to him in this school? Like, this was pretty great. And Mimi realizes, like, you know what? Like, I bet if we actually like, told his story and like told people that we once were champions, like that could actually like break our losing streak situation. And like central to this like trophy case that we can fill in with like all of his feats, like we could put the jock strap in there, like a place of honor to be like, whoa, wasn't this crazy? Let's put this on display around children.
Like, we do have a winning spirit. Yeah, look at the jock strap, kids. Yeah. Like, take it in. Really, really appreciate it.
Soak it in. That biohazard that we, I guess, are constantly surrounded by, but still, now it's in our school. But Mo and Mimi are like, yeah, that actually could be a nice thing to do. And again, could, like break this losing streak curse. Maybe
respect
that's the thing.
Dead, lift the curse.
Yeah, like we just had to honor this legacy and we'll break the curse. The jock strap, needs its place in the spotlight.
Every jock strap needs a home.
And it ain't in a gym bag, baby.
Yeah,
disintegrating.
Yeah,
exactly. So, at this moment, they hear Hitch come to school that day, and they're like, "Okay, thank God, he's here. He's okay." He didn't like run off into the night and is gone forever. But as he enters the school, we see him sprint right up to Gizzard, who's currently shoving kids into a locker. Like, there's like
classic
12 kids in a locker. Classic bully. Yeah, he's
literally stuffing them in.
Yeah.
We need more lockers in this school.
This school's so underfunded.
Yeah.
So as Gizzard sees Hitch, he drops whatever kid he was about to punch in the face, and he lunges at Hitch, who, without even raising an eyebrow, leaps over Gizzard. Like bobs and weaves, dodges, parkours off the lockers, making Gizzard angrier and angrier. And Mo and Mimi run up and realize, of course, Hitch still has the jock strap on, which is why he's testing Gizzard right now and showing off. And so Mo and Mimi are like, all right, I mean, like, that was pretty funny. Like, yeah, stick it to Gizzard. Like, fuck that kid, basically. But, this jock strap clearly has weird abilities. Let's not, Mimi's like, let's stop playing with this. This isn't a toy. We want to put it in the display case. Here's our theory. We can break this curse of losing if we give it its like proper spot of honor. And Hitch is like, oh, yeah, that totally makes sense. You all can totally have it back if you can catch me.
Oh, great. Damn.
And of course,
that seems too easy.
Yeah. And of course, he's gonzo. He's fucking out of this. And we enter another little montage moment after the research montage. Now we have a sports montage, but a Hitch being a dick while playing sports montage. We see him interrupt a baseball game. He like pushes the batter out of the way, takes the baseball bat, the pitch is thrown, Hitch bunts it, and then still is able to run a whole home run off of a bunt because he's so fucking fast.
That's pretty G. I'm not gonna lie. As a baseball fan, I would be cheering for it.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, your team can't do shit. Look at us.
Yep. Yeah. Watch me. But then it continues. It's the next inning. The pitcher comes up and Hitch basically pushes the pitcher off the pitcher's mound. We cut to a basketball game. Hitch is like literally jumping over half of the court and all of his teammates to slam dunk. Every single time he's like playing soccer. Someone wants him to pass it to him, and he just shoves his own teammate out of the way. So with each sport, he's becoming more and more of a dick. And Mo and Mimi are watching all of this happen, and they're like, dude, everybody's about to fucking hate Hitch. Like, he is making enemies left and right here. Like, this isn't cool. Like, we're also on some of these teams. Yeah, we're bad, but like,
can be sportsman-like.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we got to be sportsmen. Like, we're children trying to have fun. So they're talking about this kind of like after school on their walk home, and they run into Hitch, who we see he's like riding, kind of like a big wheel bike type of thing, but he's barreling down the sidewalk where there's like two, we find out, literal 4-year-olds in kind of like the little like Barbie and Hot Wheels, like, kid-sized cars, and he like, literally just plows through them. We see the children and the kids like fly off the sidewalk and like tumble out of their cars. And Hitch says,
"Get off the road."
Hitch screams back to them, "You better get used to losing, you losers." To like these children now crying.
Like, in my opinion, the world is a little bit worse off because kids were just given trophies for participating. Participation trophies have made people soft. These kids got to learn early.
Not at Lone Pine High.
Not only do you not always win, sometimes you get run over and knocked off the road.
Lone Pine High. Nobody gets a fucking trophy. Ouija Falls.
This is true.
These kids have already had a hard life. No one's getting any awards for anything in this place. But as Mo and Mimi approach Hitch, they're like, "Whoa, bro, like, what the fuck has gotten into you?" And Hitch straight up ignores them and plows through them too, only turning back to also call them losers. And Mo and Mimi realize
insult to injury.
It's basically, "Get out of my way, you losers." So,
all right.
They realize that this is maybe possibly why there's no statues to Jimbo. There's no honoring of Jimbo's mausoleum, because there's no family or friends connected to him, because everybody fucking hated Jimbo. Because yes, like any cursed object, any, otherworldly supernatural deal made, there's always a catch.
Yeah.
So for the athletic ability,
deal with the devil.
Yep, exactly. Put into this jock strap, the fine print was, you become an egotistical maniac, everyone will learn to hate.
Yeah.
So that's what they realize.
Man, I love
trade-off. This is the curse. They say they've lost him to the power of the jock strap. They got to go save him. And happens to be the big football game, homecoming football game that night that the pep rally was from.
Of course.
Yep. We see it's, kind of like the pre-game huddle up. The coach, he's got his little chalkboard with all the plays written out. Hitch is like leaning against the chalkboard, helmet in arm, like rolling his eyes. He interrupts the coach.
Like, "Are you even on the team?"
Literally, yes.
Shut up here.
Yeah, he's like in a uniform. They're like, "Who gave you that?" We also don't want you on this team. We have heard the rumors that we don't. No one likes
you're
you
an
anymore.
asshole. Yeah, you're not fun to play with, even if you are good.
Yep, it's not worth it. So Hitch literally rolls his eyes, interrupts the coach, erases the entire plays on the chalkboard, and draws a picture of himself and says, "I don't need no team. I am the team. You all are bench warmers."
Oh, okay. It's like, "I don't need all the other 10 of you. I'll do this on my damn self."
Does not. And he runs out onto that field to face off the other team, a school named Our Lady of Perpetual Pain.
Oh my God, I love it.
That was so fucking funny. And I was like, I need a spinoff. Like,
what's going on at that school?
Basically make our high school into Lady of Perpetual Pain, like in this world. And that is what I would like to reboot as. Yes. So this other team is basically like I can only describe like if these players from quarterback to whatever other position to like punter, they're all like linemen, like linebackers. They're fucking
Massive.
huge. Yeah, every single one of them. Like if they were animals, they would all be hippos, is like the vibe happening.
Which is terrifying, but okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're fucking
both size
huge.
and like anger level.
Yep, exactly. And Hitch, just no biggie. And he, as a one-man team, starts dominating them and shit-talking them as he goes, adding fuel to the fire, of course. Yeah. And Mo and Mimi are watching, saying, Hitch has been possessed by the winning spirit. Which I love.
Muddy? No.
I know, that's exactly. It was so funny. I like watched this episode a couple days after we had recorded your football episode, and I was cracking up the whole time.
Yeah, apparently we're a football podcast now. Everyone watching and listening.
Get ready.
So get used to it.
To have to correct us every moment.
On a lot of shit.
Every moment.
Me too, probably.
So Mimi says we have to repossess him and get this jock strap back. So there's like a moment of while Our Lady of Perpetual Pain is having a timeout, but coming back onto the field, that Mo sees his chance. He sprints onto the field up to Hitch, who of course is there, flexing, tossing the football up and down, hasn't even broken a sweat yet. And we see Mo whisper something into Hitch's ear, which makes Hitch literally start screaming and rip the jock strap off and like punt it into the air, giving Mo the chance to jump and catch it and run off the field before Hitch can change his mind.
Okay.
And Mimi is like, the fuck did you just say to him? Like,
yeah.
How'd you do that? And Mo's like, well, I mean, I told Hitch that this was a cursed object, and he said he already knew. And I told him, no, the curse is the worst case of jockstrap itch that the wearer would ever get. Or known to mankind.
I was going to say, if they make a joke about VDs, then oh my God. And they made a joke about VDs.
They did.
Wow, they sure did. Awesome. I love it. Maybe this is an adult show.
Exactly.
Yeah. But we all know.
But we know. We know. And in that moment, Our Lady of Perpetual Pain literally fucking destroys Hitch to the point where the next scene is medics running onto the field and carrying Hitch away on a gurney, like completely crumpled and flattened.
Ooh, ow. Well, you hate to see it. But he had it coming.
That was some karma. He did this to himself. And we see Mo and Mimi, who, yes, they are familiar with supernatural objects. They are familiar with curses. They are familiar, obviously, with grave robbing. This was not their first rodeo. Yep. That the object needs to be returned to its rightful place or else. So Mo and Mimi are heading back to the mausoleum. They're on the mausoleum steps. They're also at this point, they're discussing like, I guess the curse of the jockstrap was just on the wearer to become an asshole. There's no curse on the school. We just suck at sports.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
No, they're like, we just all are really bad at sports. Yeah. Like, look at us. Like no,
even going back in history.
A square. Yeah. Me, I'm just like a beanstalk. Like I'm very tall and skinny. We're bad at sports.
Like you guys look like you'd be as bad at sports as freaking Jimbo did, exactly. But for the jockstrap. Like no, you guys were still really bad at sports then. Jimbo just was an asshole, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. Like the curse was just on Jimbo. Nothing else was cursed. We just are horrible athletes.
Really interesting.
So they're walking back into the mausoleum. And just before they return it, Mo, who's carrying it, is like, yeah, you're right. But, Mimi, wouldn't it be just a shame? We can't just, and he's holding the jockstrap up slowly. We can't just give away all this power.
Oh, no.
But perhaps this motherfucker goes full Lord of the Rings in this moment.
I was like, don't go Gollum.
With more willpower could destroy it. Oh, they go full Aziliador at this moment with them saying, "Throw it into the fire." Aziliador turning back with the ring saying, "No." Thus causing all the rest of Lord of the Rings tale to happen, etc. That's deep cut for you nerds out there. Anyways, yes, he's holding it up saying someone with more willpower could handle it. And Mimi, our fave, says,
moral compass.
Not only says, hell, I shouldn't say hell no, but she basically says, hell no. And then we see her turn into her backpack and fucking get out a full on welding like glasses, like goggles, and a fucking flamethrower.
She keeps them.
And this bitch grabs the jockstrap from Mo, tosses it into the air, and just flame throws it. Like, we see sparks and fire explode this jockstrap. As it's burning in everybody's faces, we see like releasing all of the athlete ghosts.
The spirits. Oh my God.
And Mimi, like full flamethrower, just like in the air in hand, basically looks at them and like tells them to fuck off, and they all disappear. She's like, doesn't actually say fuck off, but she's basically just like, I'm not impressed. And they all just like dissipate back into the other world.
Find some other thing to haunt and possess.
Yeah, this I've seen worse.
It's saying it. Yeah. Wow.
So thus ends the tale of that cursed jockstrap. But the final scene of this episode, which I'm interested to see if like the rest of the episodes do this, is this like a running thing of how they all end, is we see Mo on his computer, again, breaking the fourth wall. He starts telling us about I presumably true history of like the jockstrap, of like how it came into creation. And like, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't write it down because I simply did not care about this information. I was just like, I don't know, it's probably true. But hilariously, it ends with a prediction because Mo, as we just saw in the previous scene, loves evil shit and like gloomy outlooks. And we see his prediction ending, and he says, yes, through the years, jockstraps have only been getting stronger and more intense. And one day, all of our athletes, all of their protection has been getting stronger and more intense. Perhaps one day, all of our protection will just become metal, and then all of our athletes will just become robots controlled by obese, out of shape people sitting at home. Jesus. And then the episode ends.
So in fact, this is a combo of the Twilight Zone, X-Files. What was the cartoon you said? Rocket Power, All Real Monsters, and Black Mirror. They just didn't know Black Mirror just didn't exist yet. Black Mirror was inspired by this. Like, can we talk about horror stories of the future and technology? Charlie Booker watched this and was like, I have an idea. I'm writing things.
Yes,
we're writing.
Say more.
Thank you, Mo. Yeah,
exactly.
Amazing.
Thank you, Frankie Muniz. And then that's
Incredible
the end.
Incredible job. That was great. Oh my God, I cannot wait to watch this.
Yes, even though, as we've established very much on this show, I am not a horror movie watcher. I do love creepy, ooky, spooky shit, and this show gives me all of it without actually giving me full nightmares that there is a murderer in my attic who's been living there for 5 years waiting to kill me, like horror movies make me feel. Instead,
5 years to kill you? You haven't even lived there for 5 years yet. They knew though, one day.
They knew we were going to
live here.
So yes, it's
amazing.
Ooky, spooky, supernatural, which we love. Also, I found it very funny that your last episode, Funky Phantom episode, had to do with cryptids. And I was like, I bet there's some cryptid shit in this show. Like, I am stoked for it. Even though I was like, cryptids, I also love the stories of cryptids. So I'm like,
there's got to be a Bigfoot episode in there somewhere.
I hope there is, like somehow, some way. So that's our first Moville Mysteries. Again, shout out to the YouTube user who we commented at the beginning for recommending the show. I'm so glad that they did.
Yes. So, and a plug for those a plug for those who are listening on the podcast. Like if you check us out on YouTube, drop a comment if there's a show that you want us to do, or send us an email. All that information is in our bio about whatever.
On Instagram,
wherever.
I'll check the Insta. Yeah.
We'll watch it. Like we said, we'll watch pretty much anything as long as it's animated and has to do with like crime or horror or mysteries, and it fits for this podcast. Yep. So give us your recs like this wonderful user did, this viewer did, and here we are now.
Exactly. So, yes. And next week you'll be back with your first Moville Mysteries episode. And between now and then, who should they tell? But you go first.
So I'll say that real quick after this. You mentioned you don't know if they do it at the end of every episode, the whole like little history lesson.
Yeah.
One of the IMDb comments that I read said that apparently they do, or they do it often, because the person was saying like, one of my favorite parts is like the end of every episode. Mo does like a little, I think they said in the comments too, like, I don't know if it's true or not, like what he's saying, if it's factual, but it's really cool for him to do like a little, monologue on the history behind whatever they talked about in that episode. So hopefully we get some good ones in the future and some cool like actual tidbits of knowledge.
I'll write them down in the future if I care about them. Again, I was like,
a jockstrap, not interested.
Irrelevant to my entire life.
We have no use for them.
Exactly. So I was like, yawn. Okay.
Yeah, cool.
So who should listeners and viewers tell?
I think it's pretty obvious. You got to tell Frankie Muniz, because he's obviously wondering if people are watching this show. So tell him that, 2 31-year-old women have been watching it and now are telling a whole lot of other people to watch it as well. Who should they tell? Mm-hmm.
I think after that, you should tell an athlete that you know.
Yeah.
One who's like really good, one who's like always the starting quarterback, but like, as a subtle way to ego check them a little bit.
Exactly. Like, is this you?
Yeah. Like don't let yourself turn into this, et cetera, et cetera. Like don't turn into the villain.
And also make sure you clean your jock strap.
Yeah. Don't share that shit. That seems weird. I don't think people do, but like,
don't bury it with you either.
Watch out for that shit. Wash that.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week for more spooky shit. Probably.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on, so just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at SatmornMist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.